games in the Sky Bet Championship. They'll get much bigger than the top two going toe-to-toe.
You get the feeling that some key pages of this season's championship story will be written here at Elland Road this evening. It's Vrancic, and it is beautiful! Vrancic, oh, and this time it's Janssen, but put in by Pukki, and Norwich have got a second.
Well, I think both goals have been self-inflicted. I think it's been an outstanding game.
There's Lewis, may it fall Vrancic's way, and that is that! Backwards there, and Leeds are on the board. This Norwich City side have truly come of age.
So an emphatic victory for Norwich City here at Leeds United this evening. They head home with 3 points, but most importantly, they are top of the Sky Bet Championship. So no beard and wider shoulders, I think that's what we're going to go for next season, aren't we? Anyway, moving swiftly on, Norwich need to take inspiration from that victory here at Elland Road 5 years ago. The boss at the time now occupies the home dugout with all previous affiliations put firmly aside. For one of these sides, the 2023-24 season will finish here at Elland Road. The others will head off to Wembley. Join us next to find out who.
Situations are made for goalkeepers. Bastey! David Hopkins looking to curl. Oh, it's a beauty! If that is to be the one that takes them to Wembley, you cannot argue with that.
Well, it's the post-season party that never, ever fails to deliver. No goals as yet. We get going very shortly. Leeds against Norwich tomorrow at St Mary's, for Southampton against West Brom, then the final on Wembley Sunday, May the 26th. All, of course, on Sky Sports Football. These are the home fans that are really enjoying themselves right now. Joby McAnuff, this could be key, the atmosphere, couldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think from Leeds' perspective, start the game fast. I like the way that Daniel Farke's set the team out today. It's aggressive. I think they are the team that are going to go and really take the game by the scruff of the neck, and it's about getting these fans on board. We've seen this place earlier in the season when they really get going. That win against Leicester in particular comes to mind. We've also seen it on the other side of things. So that engagement, the positivity, the energy is going to be absolutely massive tonight.
The mixture of excitement and trepidation we just saw there on the fans' faces, Paul, didn't we?
Yeah, I echo that. The fans have got a huge role to play today. Whatever's happening on the pitch, these fans get behind the players, they maintain that atmosphere, that noise, that positivity. For the full game, that's going to be hard for Norwich to deal with.
It's an absolute bird pit, Chris, isn't it? Down to be out there.
Yeah, but what an opportunity for the Norwich fans. I don't think many people fancy them to come to Leeds' backyard and win. What I do think is Norwich, if we talk about that, they have a game plan, they will sit deep. But from the off, I think it's really important that they don't just retreat and let Leeds gather that momentum. I think set plays are going to be big, and I think Norwich can cause them all sorts of problems. But it's going to be moments for Norwich, and they have the players to hurt Leeds.
So, this is it. It'll be the 48th and final championship game for one of these great clubs here this evening. The other will have a shot at the Premier League in the biggest domestic game on the planet. The Championship player final at Wembley awaits the men left standing here tonight on this pitch in West Yorkshire. Do not go anywhere. Your commentary team for this one, Andy Hinchcliffe from First. Good evening, Daniel Mann.
Good evening, David. Good evening, one and all. That unique Elland Road electricity is in the air. There is anticipation and apprehension in slightly different ratios everywhere you look. And tonight is the night when this playoff semi-final truly gets started after the Sunday afternoon snore in Norfolk, which Leeds had the better of. This is where it will be decided. The time for second chances has passed. Facing a hugely familiar foe. And let's bring you the all-important team news. A hip flexor injury to former Norwich player Sam Byron has led to a Leeds change. Archie Gray returns to right-back from his advanced midfield role on Sunday. Joel Piroux comes in, presumably to lead the attack, with Jorginho Ruter dropping deeper. Ruter was asked to stretch the game more than he did at Carrow Road, but he'll definitely be more comfortable where he is tonight. More expansive from Leeds, but maybe more vulnerable. We'll see. The absence of Patrick Bamford still keenly felt. The question all Norwich City followers have been asking has been answered in the affirmative. Josh Sargent is fit, despite concerns over his long, troublesome right ankle. The surprising news is the return of Ashley Barnes. His chances of playing before the final had essentially been dismissed in many quarters due to a calf injury, but he has been past fit to play and had his considerable experience among other qualities. Borja Sainz has dropped to the bench. Well, Leeds will have to be united. The supporters are providing a terrific backdrop, both visually and in terms of the noise levels they are generating.
Yeah, I've been here many times this season. The atmosphere tonight is off the charts, designed to get Leeds on the front foot, to step onto Norwich, but for Norwich, get through the first 15 minutes. You'd have to score, just contain the home team.
And his addition has raised eyebrows. And Wagner adding extra experience, extra nuisance value. One final rallying cry.
Well, both sides are really cautious in that first leg. It's more about not losing that game, expecting more attacking intent tonight. There's plenty of match winners out there. They just need to step up, step forward, make this semi-final theirs.
The pristine white-shirted Leeds United to get us underway. The semi-final truly begins now. A one-off cup tie for a Wembley date. Who will be first to show? The pressure unquestionably greater on Leeds United, the expectation considerably higher. But they come up against a wily coach who knows the course, having guided Huddersfield successfully through the playoffs 7 years ago without any of his players scoring a goal in regulation time. It could be a long night.
Absolutely. I think for the game, it's really good that Josh Sargent and Ashley Barnes are both fit and play. How long they play, we'll see, because they're both clearly carrying injuries, but so important they're both in the team.
It's Rodham beating Sargent to it. Same ankle that he damaged at Huddersfield earlier in the season. Well, one thing that was very notable was the nervousness of Leeds United's goalkeeper on Sunday. Whether he'll be under quite as much pressure with the ball at his feet remains to be seen, but it could easily manifest itself in other ways.
I expected a fairly conservative start from Norwich, but they're stepping onto Leeds. They're being brave, looking to disrupt Leeds, playing out from the back, make it really uncomfortable for them. Don't sit on the halfway line, let Leeds get on the ball, the crowd behind them. That's the right approach from the off.
Barnes' inclusion means a shift for John Rowe and Gabi Sara. Sara to the right flank, Rowe to the left. Teammate of Josh Sargent at Werder Bremen. Somerville looking to skip away for the first time. A source of so much joy for Leeds United this season.
Shane Duffy stepped out of that centre-half position and just a heavy touch from Somerville took it away from the centre-half, took it out of play. If he'd managed to keep that ball in play, the centre-half was out of the game.
Ethan Ampadu.
Just looking at Nunez and McLean when actually Leeds have the ball. McLean's sitting deep and Nunez has been encouraged to kind of step in behind the front two again, designed to put the press on Leeds.
In that instant, it's taking on a sort of diamond midfield complexion, which I'm sure it will only be in that kind of instance, but it was the way Derby went here on that infamous night for Leeds 5 years ago. Well, Somerville has got in behind. Early opportunity. And early excitement.
Yeah, it's great link-up play. Clever little flick from Rutter to get Somerville in behind that Norwich defence. Has two choices. Do you pull it back or do you go for goal? If you go for goal, you've got to work the goalkeeper. It's easy for him to pull that ball back to a teammate. It's a bouncing ball. That's maybe the problem. He gets underneath it. It's a very good early opportunity. But that opportunity was an example of the sharp football that Leeds need to play. If Norwich do sit deep, get the whole team back behind the ball, you need to zip it around, high tempo, 1 and 2 touch. Get your key players like Somerville, Rutter heavily involved.
And it's that zip in many quarters that they've lost in recent weeks. They are on their longest run without a victory at home this season, 3 matches. All with Sunderland defeats to Blackburn and Southampton. Here's Piroe looking to make an inroad. And Gunn able to grab it at the second time of asking.
Well, it's a long, hopeful, lofted forward ball, and the Norwich centre-halves don't really deal with this. The ball holds up. Maybe gets slightly lucky there that the keeper comes and deals with it, but Piroe doing the right thing, leading the line. They've really suffered with no Bamford in the team. He's got to lead the line, let Rutter play as the number 10.
Gnonto, a little bit loose. Gray back in a more regular role this season. Now Somerville in that inside left position. Rutter. Block from Kenny McLean. Time froze for a moment. Gnonto.
Rutter's in a brilliant position there. Shoot early or pass early. He's laboured in possession, runs into traffic. Another good opportunity. Good position, gone.
Slipped by Rowe, the steal from Roden. And the road block from Nunez, an illegal one. It is a free kick to Leeds in a great position.
Well, we see the position that Rodon, a centre-half, takes up here, high up the pitch. So Leeds squeezing Norwich into their own half. Centre-half defenders stepping high up the pitch to win the ball back. It's a poor challenge from Nunez. He's nowhere near the ball. He just takes Rodon out. They need to weather this early storm, Norwich.
Quite the discussion between Somerville and Gruev. There's going to be Gruev who delivers and scores! Well, talk about picking your moment! Talk about picking your occasion to score your first Leeds United goal! Norwich caught cold! And the ice is broken in the playoff semi-final.
But it reminds me so much of Joe Bryan's free kick for Fulham against Brentford. The goalkeeper expecting the ball to be clipped into the box. He's just caught on his heels, expecting the cross, and then the ball is whipped in towards the bulk of the goal. So Gruev does the right thing. The wall is non-existent, but the goalkeeper is expecting the cross. It's caught out, just as Joe Bryan did to David Raya. It's brilliant, quick thinking from Gruev.
Sheer elation at Ellen Road. How on earth do Norwich respond? There's a whirlwind being whipped up here. Piru had stayed onside. Now it's Gray. Yonto, Yanalis gets the challenge in. He's letting his frustration show.
We saw Shane Duffy. Those Leeds players were celebrating the goal. He was just saying to his teammates, calm down. They have to get a grip here. They have to stay in the game, because this is exactly the start that Daniel Farke wanted. The crowd have forced them on. They've got the early goal, clearly looking for a second.
Oh, Gruev presiding over the set piece again. They'll keep it going. I suppose that's the best thing you can say about it. Ruter adjusting well. Somerville now for Leeds. Yonto. Gray. Kamara. Gray. Looking to combine there with Yonto. It's Ruter. And a foot in there by Duffy. Sargent. Well, Norwich's first task is to try and get hold of this ball.
To get hold of the ball, get to the halfway line, because they've been pinned in. The intensity of Leeds football is the problem. High quality in the goal, the confidence that goal has given them is enormous.
Well, this tie has had both a slow start and a very quick one. And this season, scoring the first goal for Leeds United has been a very, very good thing indeed.
For Norwich, they've only won 5 of 20 games when they've gone behind, so it's a tall order, but it is only one. Norwich just need to get a grip.
Well, a defiant cry from those who've travelled from Norfolk, that great anthem.
When you get the crowd heavily involved, this is exactly the start that you want from the team. The crowd have inspired the team. It's an electric start from them.
McLean. All that extra experience in quarters that Norwich possess has to come to the fore now. Contrast in the general energy of the game compared to Sunday afternoon is marked. We expect cagey first legs. I think to a degree that was taking it to new extremes. Nunez, who conceded the free kick, which has cost Norwich here. Sara. And Stacey has got there, but some of the sting taken out of it by Junior Firpo. But Norwich in business again here with McLean. Beyond Rowe. Betwixt and between Rowe and Barnes in the end. Piru. Offside against Somerville.
Piru probably gets a little bit lucky there. I'm sure he's trying to flick the ball around the corner and it gets stuck underneath his feet, but that then means it's a brilliant turn. And Somerville, just look across the line. You stay on side, because if you get the ball there, you're isolated against defenders who are running back towards their own goal, so you shouldn't be caught offside. You need a bit of attacking intelligence. Look across the line.
Road on, the guilty man on Rowe. Yannis looking to get it around the back here. Is it Leeds' turn to be caught cold? Archie Gray deals with the danger.
That's good recovery from Gray. He's caught ball watching. You know, as a young man, senior players, experienced players get caught out. He's trying to make a point to one of his teammates. And Giannoulis has made the run in behind him, but he does the right thing, gets back into a good defensive position.
Well, Leeds aren't necessarily noted for their strength from set pieces, but Norwich City certainly are. And former Leeds man Andy Hughes on the Norwich coaching staff, the architect of much of their success, albeit on this occasion it didn't come to fruition as they might have hoped. This is McLean.
Yeah, from the corner, the pace of the ball in is decent, but you've got to beat that first man. You've got Ruter back there, one of Leeds' biggest players, protecting the near post. Got to get it over his head.
They have got to come out perhaps a little earlier than he might have hoped and start to ask some searching questions of their own. They started the first leg strongly. Well thought out plan, which may have been partially torn up already. Yannis. Rowe losing out to Gray. Ruter. Robbed by a combination of Rowe and McLean. Barnes. Gruev won possession back. On by Piru now for Ruter. Yonto. Gruev stealing in, but it's a free kick in Norwich's favour. Sarah. Getting to know the Ellen Road turf a little better. It may not quell the pessimists. Leeds United have not won a playoff game here at home since 1987. You'll recall 5 years ago they were in a 2-0 aggregate lead against Derby County. One mistake let them in. Kamara. And here's Ampadu.
See how important Gruev is to the functioning of this team. And Leeds have the ball. You've got the two centre-halves left on their own. Gruev just helps them out, so that means the full-backs can push forward, provide the width.
Leeds now, certainly the mission seems to be to retain control. But Norwich will collectively have had to give their heads a shake and get themselves together, and they're settling into the game now.
The reaction hasn't been bad, actually. I did fear for them a couple of minutes after the goal went in. They didn't get their foot on the ball, didn't take the sting out of the game. They've done that now, they've settled.
this into uncharted waters, really. Piru, actually such a cool head. He had a bit of a battle on there with Nunez.
You just have to be careful playing out from the back because Leeds are such a quality high-pressing side.
Stacey. Rowe is the target here. Player who's certainly not at full pelt.
Oh, it's a free kick worth seeing again. I just wonder whether Ilya, does he have a little word with the bench to say, you know, shall I flick this ball into the box, or maybe try and catch the goalkeeper out? So that conversation's been had. And he has a chat with Somerville. Somerville makes his run, steps over the ball, possibly drags away one of the Norwich wall. You actually see Rowe just step away, so the wall is non-existent. I think it's the goalkeeper, again, his position, and he's just not anticipating the shot on goal. He's expecting the cross, and he reacts too late. The ball's behind him before he can get across to his left.
Duffy there found out if he thought he might have time, he would have to think again. Rowe. Third playoff campaign for Norwich, and yet to win a match away from home. Have to at least get themselves back on terms here. Take us to extra time. It's an annual reminder that the away goals rule, as in European competition, now no longer in force in the playoffs. It's been over 20 years now, actually. But I'm always asked about it every year, so I'll get the reminder in. Asking a lot even of Jack Stacey, who does get up and down so impressively.
Just looking at the Norwich attackers, when the Norwich defenders have the ball, no one's really stretching the game. All of them want the ball into feet, so that means Leeds can actually squeeze Norwich into their own half. It's very difficult to play through the press when you're always looking for the balls into feet.
Gray has found Yonto. Piru points the way in the middle, and there he is! The Wembley Arch in sight already! Well, it's been a nightmare opening 20 minutes for Angus Gunn. But Joel Piru's smile says it all.
Yeah, just as it looked like Norwich were getting a foothold in the game, they'd settled. This is the quality that Leeds possess. Once that ball is knocked out wide, the ball in from Gnonto is a beauty. And because it's an away swing, it's going away from the goalkeeper, who doesn't really make his mind up. If you're going to go and try and get to that cross, try and get to it. He's caught in no man's land, Angus Gunn. And Piru, he's had his critics for his performances, his lack of goals, but he's only got eyes for the ball. He's not worried about the goalkeeper getting clattered, getting hurt. He just thinks about scoring. The cross gives him that opportunity, and he takes it brilliantly.
Well, the change may to some extent have been forced by Sam Byram's injury. But it is a change that has paid potentially massive dividends.
You know, the finish is really considered, but his movement is vital in scoring that goal as well. He just leaves Gnonto to do his job. He gets himself into a goal-scoring position, gets away from defenders, and Gnonto finds him. But I think Angus Gunn, his confidence has been knocked by conceding the free kick from Gruyev. Goalkeeping-wise, the two goals, are they avoidable?
Well, Jared Gillett just delaying the referee, the restart to proceedings, because of the kind of flair we don't want to see on a football pitch. Well, coming to Ellen Road this season has generally been something of a mountain to climb for opponents. It's quite Everest, then certainly K2 at the moment. It's steep. Here's Barnes looking to make an impact. Sargent, oh, mistake by Ampadu has opened the door for Sargent, and Millier there with a save of mighty magnitude.
Well, it's a collector's item. Ethan Ampadu making a defensive error. If you're going to get off your feet there, you've got to take the ball, but Millier does brilliantly. Not only does he close the gap on Sargent, but he stays big. Sargent tries to be cute, just dink it over him, but the goalkeeper spread himself. Look at the concentration, his positioning, getting that right arm up, absolutely crucial.
Well, a picture of anxiety at points in the first leg, but a hero there. And Ruter meets it.
It just shows you how quickly this game can change. Ampadu, Leeds have to learn from that.
Well, it wasn't quite the same, but it was at the same end where Casilla and Cooper came to grief 5 years ago, with Leeds 2-0 up in the tie against Derby County. But not a case of history repeating.
I'm sure it was that the front two combining, Ashley Barnes dropping deep and picking out his strike partner, but it is Ampadu. He makes the mistake. His goalkeeper bails him out big time.
Well, Norwich will hope that that was not their only moment. Because it's very difficult to envisage arguably the Championship's most reliable defender this season having another moment like that. Ruter is able to retrieve it and done considerably more. It's an almost never-ending run, but he'll eventually be penalised for a foul on Yanidis.
It's the position that Ruter really wants to be in, dropping deep, getting on the ball. And Piru, rather than do that as well, he's leading the line. And that's how he scored from Piru, playing higher up the pitch than Ruter. They're getting that balance right in terms of their positioning. One leading the line, one playing as a 10. And I think they've got the right player in the right position tonight.
Rode on to meet. Now McLean. Gliding forward. But Rowe wasn't quite on the same wavelength. Alonso defensively diligent to help Archie Gray out. Now he's doing the stuff he enjoys a great deal more. Fair's fair from Nunez, no appeal either.
There might have been a little bit of contact, but he was certainly not knocked off his feet there. Nonto, again, it's a good run, driving run, but we'll make a decision. We're not going to shoot, release the pass.
Ben Gibson will recall a similar feeling when he was playing for Middlesbrough against Norwich in a playoff final, when he struck early at Wembley 9 years ago, before Daniel Farke's time. Alex Neil was at the Norwich helm, and the Middlesbrough coach was very, very late that particular day. It was too big an ask that day. What of tonight? Seemed to skip off Gray's arm. Certainly that was the appeal. Gruev now. Kamara. Somerville back to Kamara. Gruev waits edge of the box. Somerville.
Well, Norwich defensively have to dig deep here. Another goal for Leeds, and this tie is over. Look at the intensity, the quality that Leeds are attacking with. It's causing Norwich so many problems. Time and time again, they're creating opportunities.
And they're not hanging about with them either. We'll certainly feel that in general, this is a situation where Norwich should be pretty strong. We'll work it a little differently. Ashley Barnes in his usual role in a set-piece skirmish as the wind-up merchant.
Well, they're shoving each other, but what Firpo does to Ashley Barnes, shouldn't be sending him to the deck. He doesn't send him to the deck. He decides just to flop down onto the floor.
Choosing a different victim this time, up against Rodon. Ruter. The analyst keeping his eye on the ball, and Norwich have to continue to keep their concentration.
I suppose with a 2-0 scoreline, they can try and be a little bit more inventive with their set pieces. If it's 0-0, whip the ball into the box. 2-0, and try something different.
Rodon threatening to slip his man there. He's got the better of Barnes. Gunn has to use his fist. Here's Gray. Towards Ruter. Gibson, eye on the ball again. Big moment that for Ilan Meslier. Fantastic save from Sargent. They'll do his confidence a huge amount of good. You can only speculate as to how he was feeling coming into tonight, but certainly shaky at times on Sunday.
You see with that forward ball again for Leeds, up to Piru, who is playing as a genuine number 9 up against centre halves. It's causing them so many problems.
Kamara. Now Rodon. Gray. It's just happily easing along in possession. Piru, though, making an adventurous run.
Again, leading the line, at times looking at the ball into his feet, at times looking to spin and run in behind. Duffy and Gibson, who aren't necessarily the quickest, again, it's a sensible move. Mix up your attacking game, so centre halves aren't sure where you're going to be.
So the mobility around them is going to be quite a challenge. With the challenge there on Kenny McLean. Started the season on the naughty list, among others. Well, that have endured so much heartache in the playoffs. And supporters starting to believe that this is the year it turns. We'll hope that proves dangerous thinking. Sargent holding his back in pain after that challenge from Ampadu.
Yeah, apart from the Sargent opportunity, you said to Daniel Farke, how do you want the opening half an hour to go? He said play with intensity, play with quality, get a goal or two. That's exactly what's happened, so he must be overall very pleased with the way his team have started the game.
That aberration from Ampadu probably wouldn't happen another 99 times in the same situation. Ruter. A little bit of space. He's found Somerville, Firpo on the overlap. There he is. And Gibson in there, sprawling, urgent defending again.
It's brilliant build-up play. Retear dropping deep, being the creative spark. That's where he wants to be. Ball goes out wide, then you've got Firpo, an overlapping fullback, getting into advanced positions. Good cross, and Piroe again leading the line in that high position, forcing Gibson into the challenge.
There's been sometimes a feeling around this place that Piroe hasn't always come up to the mark when it's truly mattered. He certainly is tonight. Rodon's in there!
He just seemed to mistime the jump. His reaction tells you that is very much the case. There's a good ball in. Keeper can't come and deal with it. The keeper's pinned actually on his line by Kamara, so that means Rodon, if he gets good connection on it, could be making it 3.
There for the taking. And Norwich still have hope. Rowe looking to turn it into more than that, up against Gray. Battle of two of the top young talents in the division is won emphatically by the one from Leeds.
Do you remember earlier in the game when he got caught ball watching? On this occasion, his defensive positioning is always good. He's always goal side of the Johnny Rowe. There's no way he's going to get in behind him.
Piroe again, he's really up for the battle tonight.
Yeah, they're getting the attacking balance just right. Plenty of width, right and left. A genuine number 9 and number 10 in there as well. So they've got that combination. The balance going forward has worked very, very well.
Took the opportunity to come deeper there, but didn't quite win the duel, and Norwich have it back. And it's Sarra and Nunez. Well, they certainly have the tools to change the picture, Norwich, but can they assert themselves against a Leeds team who are back in old familiar mood tonight? The touch that's deserted them in recent weeks. It's Gnonto, another sweeping move, but a straightforward save for Gunn.
I just wondered, did he take the shot on too early? Again, brilliant link play, fast, zippy football. Once Gnonto picks this ball up, he's got an opportunity to drive at a centre-half here in Gibson. Just takes the shot on too early. It's too easy for Angus Gunn, drilled straight at him, but it's the fact he takes it too early.
Sargent leaping. Gray comes away. It's lovely play again from the teenager. Well, he does have the odd moment that reflects his youth, like in the early stages when he was football watching but recovered. What incredible strides he's made this season. James Milner's versatility, a great inspiration to him, broke through at a similar age. We'll be hearing a lot more about Archie. Rodon. Ampadu. Gruev. In now to Somerville with Firpo outside him. Oh, Stacey, a challenge full of meaning there. Aggressive and carrying a touch of frustration. Talking about touches, really excellent one from Barnes. And he's battled on, and Rowe goes on. And will not get a free kick. There's a card waiting for it.
Well, Jerry Gillett's positioning here is outstanding because the game has gone from the edge of the Norwich penalty area, back up the pitch, and the referee has covered the ground to get into the best position possible. Great first touch from Ashley Barnes. Look like the opportunity is gone. They just about keep it alive, and there isn't really any contact on Rowe. The referee in a good position to spot that. It is simulation. Credit the referee for covering the ground and then spotting it instantly.
Well, disbelief, but it's a perfect decision.
I'm not sure what Rowe's defence is. He's not touched, so why are you going to ground?
Wagner thinking he saw something different. Encouraging words for Jorginho Rutter. Daniel Farke showing a pragmatic streak that we haven't seen too often in that first leg. They have come out flying here in the second. Talking of second legs, well, we had a goalless first leg between Southampton and West Bromwich Albion. They will settle it tomorrow night at St Mary's, and the prize of that Premier League place will be there for one on Sunday the 26th of May. This is Gray. Yanalis with him. Goes the way of Norwich. Gibson. Getting it back from Barnes. Word from the Norwich camp about his level of fitness. He's fit enough to do what he's being asked to do tonight. What precisely that is, they were a little less clear on. So whether that's 90 minutes, whether that's an hour, as we saw for John Rowe at the weekend, we can only speculate. Gruev.
Well, Leeds have been in a pretty poor run of form, just one win in the last 7 championship games, but tonight they look like they've got their swagger back, their confidence back. They look like the team they were before those 7 games.
David Wagner said before this tie got underway that he doesn't believe momentum is a factor in the playoffs, and frankly it's just as well for the 4 teams who are in them at this level this season. And I suppose the fate of Doncaster Rovers in League Two as well tells you it's not always the thing that holds sway. Piru looking to get away again, and he will get away. He's got willing support as well. Somerville, Gnonto and Rutter wait. And Somerville and Rutter! Surely no doubt now! Leeds in ruthless mood. And ready to turn Wembley Stadium white.
Well, every time Leeds go forward, they're just slicing open the Norwich defence. And I just mentioned about Leeds looking at the team they were for most of 2024. Rutter looks like the player we've seen for most of this year. He looks on it tonight, he looks hungry, the quality is there. And Piru this time dropping deep, maybe it's a little bit of good fortune. He gets the ball out of his feet, and maybe there's a ricochet there that takes one of the defenders out of the game. But they just keep the ball alive. They're backpedaling Norwich. Somerville does well just to nudge that ball onto Rutter. There's no chance for Angus Gunn. Once Rutter lifts the ball, he's hoping he maybe drills it along the floor at the goalkeeper. Once he lifts it, there's only one place it's going to end up. And in this first half, Norwich have simply been blown away. Leeds, the intensity, the quality, every one of their players has shown. It's been impossible for Norwich to match.
Well, the perfect mixture of fire and ice.
But how important now is that miss, or that great save, shall we say, from Meslier. At 2-0, could have been 2-1. Now it's 3-0. Long, long way back for Norwich.
Well, they would have to make history at this level. And Meslier deserves his place amongst the accolades. Although we've still got at least a half of football to play and more.
Yeah, from goalkeeper to centre forward, Leeds have been at it.
Gabi Sara's delivery. This is the moment for Norwich to try and get a foothold when they've been scrambling and sprawling for the most part. Gnonto getting a touch. Somerville through the challenge. They've got the numbers here. It's Gnonto. And eventually there was only Ruter up with him.
This is a problem for Norwich. They're going to have to commit bodies forward, and that opens them up to the counter-attack. I just wonder whether Gnonto could have been a bit more unselfish. Look at Ruter at the far post. As they break forward here, space is out in front of Gnonto. He kills it off. Probably can't really pick out Ruter. Ruter is complaining that the pass should have gone his way, but the pass isn't on. There's too many defenders between Gnonto and Ruter. So take the shot on, but the shot has to be better than that.
He was certainly hoping that it would be. It's quite remarkable that he has scored all but one of his goals this season away from here. Giannis in difficulty. And he'll remember that coming together with Willy Gnonto. Well, the shake of the head describes the situation as eloquently as anybody could.
I can understand this now coming together, the Norwich players trying to sort out, because at times when they've had possession they look pretty comfortable, but when Leeds get the ball and zip it around, they're just getting cut open time and time again. Incredibly strong first half from Leeds United. Yes, the crowd have given them a lift, they've pushed them on, but it's up to the players to perform like this. This is a dream first half for them.
I'm reminded on big Ellen Road occasions of the words of Gordon Strachan I saw on the television as a nipper. But, good players are inspired by this atmosphere. If you're not a good player, you're intimidated. And we did wonder what effect it would have, whether it would be the galvanising force that Leeds United hoped it would be. And it has certainly proved to be exactly that.
Yeah, when you get an atmosphere like this, I said before the ball was kicked, that you get through the first 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes unscathed. Norwich were 2 down by 20 minutes. So again, they just didn't cope, but again, it's all down to the players, how they approach it. And Leeds have been pretty incredible going forward.
Druev tenacious again. We're into a minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of the first half, and Giannis has got his skates on here. He can shift. He's amongst the quickest players at the club. Barnes, now Rowe. And that's as ruffled as Kamara has been, but it was offside anyway.
Good defending again from Archie Gray. At times as a defender, it's not about winning the ball, it's about getting back into a good defensive position, forcing Inulis, the man you're up against, to go backwards, not get goal side of you. He's had a brilliant first half, made that one error, ball watching, but covered brilliantly. No subturity this season.
He first caught the eye at 15, he came through as an attacking midfielder, but he's playing in a similar role to the one in which his granddad represented this club, among others, and his country, Scotland, with great distinction.
Yeah, full-back in this Leeds team must be a good position to play, because with Gruev sitting deep, helping out the centre-halves, Firpo and Archie Gray can step up the pitch and become wide attackers.
Now Peru.
I talked about the overall Leeds performance, but there's a couple of players, Piru and Ruter, coming for some criticism. They have responded magnificently in this first half. They've been brilliant, the pair of them.
Piru has found Junior Firpo here, and Gunn was there. Ruter! Well, somehow Norwich escaped.
I think Johnny Rowe has just about kept Norwich in this tie. I'm sure it's his challenge right at the death here that denies Ruter. Piru, well, he fails with the first pass, gets it right with the second, breaks kindly for Ruter. I think it is. It's Johnny Rowe recovering, getting back, just getting maybe a foot on the ball, just to deny Ruter a clean strike. Such important defending.
Well, Yanolis on the line with a vital intervention.
Yeah, it's Rowe that gets back, but you're right. Janulis has got into a good defensive position, saved Norwich.
Junior Firpo going in at that near post. And Roden together. Sarah's head falls for Somerville. Yonto. Gray.
There's no sign of Leeds sitting back on the 3-0 lead. They're still zipping the ball around, complete control of the game.
Just a hint of an opportunity for Sargent to steal it. The one mistake of note that Leeds have made wasn't punished because of the rescue act from the goalkeeper. He's come up trumps at a vital time in a match that otherwise has been all about quite superb attacking performance from Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds have failed to score in 4 of the last 6 games, so the turnaround in this first half, is it down to the fans pushing them on? I just think it's down to their approach, their quality, their desire to hurt Norwich.
Norwich bewildered, befuddled, Leeds brilliant. Norwich were blindsided by the Bulgarian Ilya Gruev with a clever free kick to open the scoring. Then Joel Piru with great movement and a fine finish to make it 2. At that point, Norwich still very much in it. After a mistake by Ampadu let in Sargent, Ilan Meslier in their goal stood up big and made a vital save before Eugenio Ruter made it 3. And surely, it is an unassailable lead for Leeds United at half-time.
Second half about to get underway, and there is a mountain to climb. Is Borja Sainz the man to begin that climb, Chris?
Well, I very much doubt it. It looks like Sargent's come off. I mean, if I was a Norwich fan, I may start driving home. Look, they've got to hope they get the next goal. I mean, blimey, but they have been absolutely slaughtered in the first half, gifted Leeds a couple of goals. But it's all about the next goals, give them a bit of hope. Listen, I don't think Leeds are great at the back. You know, I really don't. I think Norwich, they should have had more runners in behind. Leeds have left them a lot of space. They haven't done that, but they've got to go for broke now.
We heard that term game management so many times, Paul. It's been very straightforward for Leeds in that first half. Are they in any jeopardy at all?
No, not if the first half anything to go by, but Norwich need to, even if it's just latch on man for man and go and put pressure on Leeds higher up the pitch. At the minute, it's just been too easy for them. They've had the game all their own way, barring that one attempt on goal from Josh Sargent.
Anyway, back for Norwich, Joey?
Can't say this is the best I've seen Leeds for a very long time, and you'd have to expect the same in the second half to come.
Going to take something special. As we know, though, the playoffs can be mightily unpredictable. For the second half, once again, Andy Hinchcliffe, Daniel Mann.
Thank you very much indeed, David. Well, we have learned in our time to expect the unexpected in the playoffs, but this may be too big an ask to compound Norwich City's pain. They have, as you've heard, lost the most prolific striker in the Championship in 2024, Josh Sargent. The Borja Sainz on. Sargent exacerbated his ankle problems in the first leg. Been without him for too long during the course of this season. You wonder, given the form he has shown as arguably the best number 9 in the division, where Norwich might be had he been fit for the duration. This is Ruter as Leeds hope to slide back into the groove. Piroux is there, but so is Gunn.
Well, the build-up is brilliant, but Piroux, he's normally so composed, reliable in front of goal. He just smashes it. He should just really pass it down the side of the goalkeeper. 4-0, game over.
Well, he is known for being a very cool head. And normally, he's cursing himself there. He knows that was an opportunity. Whether he'll live to regret it remains to be seen. You would suggest it's pretty doubtful, but you never know.
The layoff from Somerville was beautifully weighted. He just needed to pass it into the back of the net. He's just put his laces through it. He's just hit and hope, really, and he's hit the goalkeeper.
Grueb on the receiving end of a challenge there from Kenny McLean.
Comes from, again, high pressure from Leeds in the Norwich half. The 3 key players, linking up Ruter, Somerville. And that lay off, the angle of it, the weight of it is perfect. People can just step onto it, but you can see he just smashes it goalwards. Just past that, a fast pass down the side of the goalkeeper. It's 4-0.
Making the one change from the start tonight. Archie Gray back in has been more familiar territory for him this season at right back in Sam Byram's absence. And Joel Piroux coming in. That's proved to be a profitable decision.
Yeah, I think for Leeds they're pretty much back to the formation, and probably Patrick Bamford aside, that the personnel that has served them so well this season.
Signs on at half-time. Ashley Barnes will lead the attack now for Norwich, with Rowe playing as the number 10. Sainz and Sarah left and right respectively. Norwich also wondering what might have been had John Rowe been able to continue his sparkling form during the first half of the season. Injury deprived them of that prospect. Indeed, it's only his second start since stepping out here at Ellen Road in January from the off. And both of them, of course, against Leeds, the first leg in this game. Here's Sarah. Kenny McLean wanted it, but they'll use Borja Sainz, who can maybe provide some inspiration. This is Kenny McLean.
Decent build-up. Norwich getting their key players heavily involved, but it's Ruter doing his job defensively for the team. As the ball comes back, Kenny McLean drifts infield. He's getting closed down. Ruter, he scored a goal tonight. He's looked a creative spark, but he's willing to track back, help out defensively, put McLean under pressure.
Well, fish out of water in the first leg, perhaps. Rowley had played on a number of occasions during the early part of the season. It's certainly where he is more profitably deployed tonight. Barnes battling, Ampadu the winner, helped on by Kamara. Now Somerville for Leeds. Piroux, intricate football. They're doing it without a player by common consent who would make them better, who does have a chance of making them better in the final.
Yeah, you're picking the best Leeds team. Patrick Bamford is in the team, he leads the line, but Piroux has done a good job playing that role this evening.
It's been a miserable night so far for one of his former clubs, Norwich. Gray. Somerville!
Once again, it starts Ruter dropping off into a pocket of space, getting on the ball where he wants to be. It's a bit too easy for the cross to come in and to Somerville to make his run away from Jack Stacey. He doesn't track his run. He should be getting closer than that, the full-back. Too easy for Somerville to get on the end of the ball in. It's a great ball in. Just can't keep it down, Somerville.
Well, Norwich have been spared significant punishment already in this second half. Will Somerville be merciful here? The angle tight. Gunn had it covered.
I'm sure at half-time Daniel Farke would have said to his team, look, don't rest on your laurels. You've got to go for the jugular again, and they've started the second half as they played the whole of the first, really. Every time they get it, looking to hurt Norwich and score.
They are displaying the unrelenting attitude that was a hallmark of their performances earlier in the season. Nonto now moving away, so it is going to come right into the middle of the penalty area. Well, that's what they hoped. Neil Firpo on the end of it. Wembley is a fast receding prospect, but clawing back some pride has to be the first mission here for Norwich, and produce a performance worthy of the name. Because it certainly has not been a case of them being on the ball, City. Sainz. Get the free kick. Both Ruter and Gruev in pursuit.
I just wonder who it was with the foul. Is it Ruter who catches it? I think it is. I think if he leaves Gruev to deal with this, there's no problem, but Ruter decides to try and win it. Doesn't. Gives the free kick away.
Case of him being too concerned with his defensive work.
It's the fact his tail's up. He's just enjoying his football tonight, so he wants to be involved in everything.
I'm sure he won't be discouraged. But it's fallen kindly for Sainz here. We need some signs of life, really, as Sarah is far too easily robbed. And this is Somerville. And Piru! And Gunn big. And every moment like that maintains at least some hope for Norwich.
You say far too easily robbed, but it was again Ruter winning the ball back for Leeds.
Does not look like the Brighton shot Gabriel Sara we normally see. This is Rowe. Gruev with an obvious tug back that is going to draw punishment in the shape of a yellow card.
Another opportunity for Leeds for Piru, but again, look at the pressure on the ball from Kamara. Then Ruter dropping deep back into midfield, winning the ball back, doing the right thing, releasing it quickly. Clever pass from Somerville. Angus Gunn as well. Similar to Mellier's save, actually closes down the attacker, doesn't give him anywhere to go.
So booking for the Bulgarian, and I have to say it's been a season in which Daniel Farke has been ruining the lack of goals from central midfield. Well, they've got one tonight.
I'm sure Daniel Farke, the challenge to his players at half-time would be replicate the first half with the intensity, the quality, attitude, application. They haven't had as much of the ball as Norwich, but causing problems every time they get it.
Into Rowe. Junior Firpo at his back. Somerville. And every foray forward from Leeds at the moment is yielding a presentable chance. Something at least for a goalkeeper to be alive and alert to. thing we always discuss when we get a team sheet, and it's the great signal as to the strength of the respective squads, is the quality on their benches. A game-changing hero is not easy to spot for Norwich. This is Somerville, but that was Yanilis.
There's the combination that's worked so well this season. Return to Somerville. Just doesn't really get the ball out in front of him. That just enables defenders to get back and snuff out the danger.
Well, Sainz has certainly made his presence felt, and Ruter has made one foul challenge too many.
I just wonder whether the Leeds players might just have a word with Ruter, because he's tearing about the pitch. As I say, he wants to be involved in everything. He completely mistimes this challenge. He knows he's got it wrong. He knows what's coming. Maybe just got to calm down. But when you're feeling good, you want to be involved. You go chasing after things and you make mistakes.
The set piece has often come to Norwich's aid this season.
Yeah, it might be a lifeline. Get it back to 3-1. They could easily have been 5-0 down.
Good targets too. Duffy at the back there. Gibson, McLean. Ashley Barnes hoping to make his usual sort of mischief. Whether he gets on the end of it or causes a distraction.
That is such poor ball in. It's just catching practice for Meslier. Very few chances you feel Norwich in this second half. Got to make the most of them, especially set pieces. That delivery was awful.
Meslier with an extra spring in his step and an extra certainty with the ball at his feet. This is Marcelino Nunez. The Norwich team that were down in the bottom 8 of the division in the autumn when David Wagner was standing on rather shaky ground. And it's yet to truly solidify beneath his feet, despite their tremendous run since November.
There's a spell they lost, what, 8 of 11 games, and I think it's pretty amazing, actually. Norwich showed faith in David Wagner. It's worked out, of course. They got to the playoffs, but if they lose a game, they want to lose this game. They'll be mightily disappointed, because once you're there, you really want to give it a go, and they've just been blown away in the first half.
Well, a big substitution here, a change of spray for Jared Gillett. I can't recall ever seeing that before.
Just about to say the same thing.
I don't know if Prutz has borrowed it for his hair. It's on by Borja Sainz. Duffy, Sara, Marcelino Nunez. Well, Sheffield Wednesday last season taught us to believe in miracles in the playoffs. It taught us to believe in miracles in the Championship this season, by the way, as well. Stacey chasing. And Stacey will get there. Barnes is arriving to help.
It's always going to be difficult for Barnes to get on the end of that cross. He's got 3 Leeds defenders. The desire of those defenders to get back into a good position to keep the clean sheet.
So kept more than anybody else during the regular season. Kenny McLean. Well, Yanelis losing his footing on the far side. It's kind of another moment to sum up the night. Stacey. Sarah. Kamara. He goes to ground, having come in close proximity to Rowe.
Rowe's on a yellow card as well, and I'm not sure how malicious this challenge was. Clearly the referee's not got too excited about it. Maybe just a word to say, calm down. Finally a bit of possession for Norwich in the Leeds half. But there's just nowhere for them to go. Leeds are sitting back in a really good, solid defensive position. It's a daft challenge from Rowe on a yellow card. It's frustration, that's what it is. Leeds just defensively well set up. They're just frustrating Norwich. There's just nowhere for them to play. There's players on the move trying to chop and change positions. Boha Sight is coming in field, but there's just nothing doing.
Well, changes afoot, and two players who we saw come off the bench at Carrow Road at the weekend, Sam McCallum and Christian Fasnacht. The most used substitute for Norwich this season. Arrived from Young Boys, where he did work with David Wagner. McCallum on the left. Fasnacht, amongst other things, he has his own fashion label. So preparing for life after football. And it's by necessity a change of a bold variety. Yanelis, who has just returned from a hamstring injury, replaced at left back by McCallum, which is very much a straight swap, but Fasnacht for Gibson is not.
Kenny McLean's just going to drop into the back line. He's played plenty of games this season at centre-half. He's now going to partner Shane Duffy.
McLean has really showcased his versatility this season. He's operated at left back in his time as well. Player who's not historically enjoyed the playoffs, was relegated with Arbroath by the playoffs in Scotland. An advantage played here. Somerville was felled, but Ruter will go on.
Brilliant piece of refereeing again. Look how close Jared Gillett is to the action here. He lets this challenge go because Leeds have still got the ball. And Ruter's taken out. The referee couldn't get any closer. Spots it, so he's trying to let the game flow, doing the right thing in the first instance, and then when the second Leeds player is taken out, gives the free kick. He's had an excellent game.
Well, it's the same pair plotting in a not dissimilar position at the other end. Lightning can't strike twice. Gone wide awake this time. Go with a different sort of delivery, which Ampadu attacks and Duffy meets. And Ampadu's in difficulty as the game goes on.
Yeah, Gunn's positioning was better, and he was ready for whatever was coming his way. He wasn't ready for the early strike from Gruyev. He was clipped to the far post. He was trying to keep it alive, and he just actually heads the back of Jack Stacey's head. That's the problem.
Big problem. The Leeds United chairman will certainly hope that they can go the next step. Big sack of cash potentially on its way to Ellen Road. I'm sure that's how the prize money's delivered these days.
Is that how the Premier League do it? Big sack of cash?
That's Duffy's head. Kamara, McLean. McCallum. Oh, come out to Sainz. And not much menace behind that in the end.
He's got a sight of goal, it's just not a clean contact.
Something to raise it beyond the often gentle sparring we saw in the first leg.
I just wonder whether Daniel Farke's got the luxury now, 3-0 up, 25 minutes to go, to maybe take some of his star players off, protect them for the final.
And also potentially give players some needed minutes as well. It's that kind of scenario which I'm sure he would have planned for, but wouldn't necessarily have had it at the front of his mind. Such is the diligence of a head coach these days. This is Sainz, looking to carry the fight himself. Someone took him out, he says. Flag up at any rate.
Just an example of the positivity that Sainz has brought to the Norwich attack. He actually, the offside is the first decision. He is taken out by Rodon, but when the forward ball is played, Ashley Barnes is offside.
Daniel Farke giving a final briefing to Dan James, who he was so pleased to be able to involve in the first leg. He suggested that he felt at one stage he might have just taken him along as a lucky charm, but he did get some action. This is Gnonto. And Gunn, Junior Firpo on the follow-up, and Somerville has his say! Appetite is not yet sated. They found themselves again, and they have found themselves a place in the Championship playoff final.
Yeah, it's just all too easy. They're just too sharp for Norwich City, and the ball breaks. And Somerville in that central position. Once he gets on the ball, you've got a problem. And the keeper again, when the strike comes in, could the keeper do better? Angus Gunn, not saying he should collect it, but he just keeps it alive, and then Firpo does the right thing. Rather than going for glory from a tight angle, he pulls the ball back. And Somerville, intelligent positioning as well. He's not gone into the 6-yard box, he's just held his run slightly. But every time they go forward, Leeds, 3, 4, 5 players causing Norwich problems. The understanding, the sharpness is there tonight. We've not seen this from Leeds for a number of games. They have been on it, going forward, defensively, been aggressive. It's been a well-balanced performance.
And the Championship's Player of the Year, Leeds United's Player of the Year, makes a telling contribution. Gnonto replaced by James.
Gnonto had been playing over on this left-hand side. That's where he took the shot from, but with James coming on, James will go out onto the right, and Somerville will switch from right to left. His more natural position. Just think all these Leeds attackers have been so sharp tonight.
Well, between them, Kamara and Piru won it, and now Somerville. Free kick.
Well, Norwich have got to be careful here, because Leeds have got the bit between their teeth. They're sending on attacking subs as well. This could turn into humiliation if they're not careful.
Grim. Sheer delight and defiance. Those who were forecasting their demise, obviously they've got a final to win, but they have come up with a real top performance in the semi-final.
We've got to give Norwich a lot of credit. They have dragged themselves up the league into the playoffs, but their season has come to a shuddering halt tonight.
That's ahead of Fastnacht. Spreading the gospel of the championship to the Swiss press after the first leg. He said it can be incredibly exciting, attractive and incomprehensible. And the fate that Norwich have suffered here will feel that way. They've been had such a resurgence in the final two-thirds of the season after a really dodgy start. And it falls kindly for Ruter. Can Stacey cut him off? Yes is the answer. Ruter going down. His remaining time in this game is short, as Leeds plan further changes. There's all kinds going on the Leeds bench at the moment. The initial suggestion was it would be a double change, but there's Mateo Joseph who's going to come on.
Yeah, I think that fourth goal just means Daniel Farke can just, as you say, send some players out there to get some game time. They can relax, they can enjoy the final 20 minutes now.
And Somerville will be exiting the stage at possibly the next break as well. Jayden Anthony cast in a very familiar role this season. Was about to make his 31st appearance off the subs bench. That's McCallum. Daniel Farke will be in the mood, as many of his players have demonstrated, to keep that sheet clean. Just a performance of attacking emphasis. James, fresh into the fight. McLean, you can forgive him for a touch of weariness now, but he stood firm.
Opportunity arises, just poor forward ball from Shane Duffy, picked up again by Leeds attacker Somerville this time.
Ruter soaking up the acclaim. Joyous departure for Ruter, replaced by Roberts, and shortly Joel Pirou. Mateo Joseph, arguably their most gifted number 9. And last but not least, the divisional player of the year, Crescencio Somerville, who's racked up his 21st goal for the club tonight.
Well, questions were being asked of Somerville, Ruter, Pirou, key players throughout the season who had just dropped in terms of their standards. They have answered their critics tonight, all three of them brilliant.
Well, the obvious suggestion would be a move for Gray into midfield, and indeed, or into that number 10 position, and indeed that is what has happened.
Yeah, he's played as a central midfielder, a right back, comfortably plays as a number 10. It's that versatility for someone so young to tactically understand, you know, 3 positions, just wherever you play him, he understands that. Yes, he can play, he's got great technical ability, but to understand the demands of those positions, normally you're expecting it to be a a more senior player, a more mature player, but Archie Gray just takes everything on and looks so comfortable wherever he plays.
Well, if you're Leeds United in the Championship, you're in one of the most pressurised environments in the English game. The expectation, the demand, the success, the thirst for achievement. Here's Joseph. And just what Norwich need to see, fresh, hungry legs. It's Joseph, really impressive showing in the FA Cup, you may remember, against Chelsea. Connor Roberts has made some significant contributions, although he's not been quite as much in the spotlight as you might have thought a player of his experience would be.
Tonight, Leeds have been absolutely outstanding going forward. It isn't all about the attack. I've been so impressed with their appetite off the ball as well. Squeezing high up the pitch, determined to win the ball back. Time and time again, just that one error from Ampadu that could have proved so costly. Sargent didn't take the chance, and once that opportunity had gone, it's just been... I think Leeds have made it comfortable for themselves by the way that they've approached the game on and off the ball.
Sargent and Melier tonight's Gwyneth Paltrow and John Hannah.
I think you said to the Leeds fans you'd be 4-0 up after 77 minutes and the Olays would be coming out. I'm not sure many of them would have said, yeah, that's going to happen. I'd love it to happen, but I'm not so sure that it will. But Leeds have made it happen.
They'll probably have said, I'll have what you're having.
Which, of course, is always a green tea.
Forward by Duffy. Duffy. Should be a bit of a mismatch, that. Joseph fresh and willing. Fast snapped. Just slightly ungainly approach as far as Junior Firpo was concerned. Games without a win on their own ground, everybody doubting them, suggesting that this would be the final throes of their season tonight. Such has been the letdown of the last few weeks of the regular season, really, and also their troubled history when it comes to playoffs. I think we can safely say this will be their first home victory in the playoffs since 1987, when they won in the two-legged final here, thanks to a goal from Brendan Ormsby. They eventually came to grief in a replay in the final at neutral St Andrews in Birmingham, as Charlton preserved their top-flight status and kept Leeds down in the second division. Sorensen and Sidney Van Hooydonk are going to come on and see out the season for Norwich City. He had moments in the first half, Ashley Barnes, where He threatened to make things happen. Indeed, it was his pass that wrong-footed Ethan Ampadu and sent Josh Sargent clear. And for Jonathan Rowe, a sparkling season has ended in recovery, but ultimately disappointment. Sidney van Hooijdonk and Jakob Sørensen come on. There's so much promise this season, and there will be more of that to come.
That's what the playoffs can do to you. You have the joy of victory and the devastation of defeat. And Jonathan Rowe really sums up how Norwich are feeling. They've just been outplayed, outmuscled, outrun. Everything has gone Leeds' way tonight, because they keep saying they've made it happen, and Norwich just haven't been able to cope.
Here's McLean. Rodon. Scampering James finds Joseph. Well, tomorrow night, the other place in the final will be decided on the south coast at St Mary's. Southampton against West Bromwich Albion. Join us for coverage from 7 o'clock. The final a week on Sunday at Wembley.
Well, Lily, agree. I've got that all-important first goal for Leeds. A clever strike, goalkeeper caught on his heels. Sent Leeds on their way, but it's not just the goal, his overall performance and his performances all season. He has been key to Leeds' success, not just tonight, but for the whole of the season. Outstanding.
And to replace him, a man with perhaps a few personal demons to banish here. Liam Cooper returns to the playoff stage and receives the captain's armband. 5 years on from that night of horror and enormous disappointment against Derby County. Derby County beaten in the end by Aston Villa in the Wembley final. A real turning point in their history. James. Joseph's in there, but so is McLean. It was not a ball of any great threat in the end. Cooper. He did put 4 past Swansea here this season, and most remarkably Ipswich, making lots of friends in East Anglia at Ellen Road this season. Duffy. McLean. Duffy. is there at least a sound of defiance in those that remain on the field for Norwich. Look at the beleaguered bunch now. Junior Firpo looking to release Joseph. McLean mopping up admirably. Gunn has a test with the ball at his feet that he did not welcome.
It's a horrible back pass because he's got no pitch to work with.
Well, Liam Cooper lurking. Would that be the way to cap off what has been a perfect night for Leeds United? Well, it's not a perfect delivery, and that certainly would have helped.
Well, West Brom and Southampton have got the semi-final of their own to win, but whoever gets through will have to do a major assessment of this Leeds performance, because this is not the Leeds we've seen. You know, for the last few weeks, they're back to their best.
Kamara, well, on the biggest night of all so far. They produced the performance to treasure and risen to the occasion in a way that few would have seen coming, really, since the international break in March. You have to wonder, had they hit anything like their stride during that period, what their final position might have been. Would they have usurped Leicester at the very top? We can only wonder about that. But the pleasure of promotion is still a distinct possibility. And for a team that have claimed 90 points during the regular season, it would be hard to argue with that if that is their eventual reward. I'm going to call it the best performance by a team not to be automatically promoted since Hull in 1910. Stacey drifting into the penalty area. There is Van Hooijdonk. Quite the name to live up to. Well, he has departed the stage now, but your player of the match, Andy.
Well, Leeds United, a team reborn. Jorginho Rutter was just a man possessed tonight. Back to the player we've seen for most of this season. I think he epitomised the way that Leeds attack, their energy, their quality. Outstanding performance.
That's McLean. Kamara. Liam Cooper. Archie Gray. It's powering on. It's terrific play, James. The challenge from Duffy, and the Welshman's feet too quick for the Irishman.
Just the balance, the confidence, the arrogance in many ways of Archie Gray there. And Shane Duffy, it's just a wild lunge, just hoping he gets a touch on the ball, but Archie Gray in that more attacking position, showing he can comfortably play there as well.
James plotting the 90th minute, and nobody predicted this comfortable cruise. Sunday snooze, Thursday cruise. It's James. Well, they began their season with their worst run since they have been relegated from this division. Norwich back in 2009. And there was distinct doubt that David Wagner would make it this far. Doubters not only on the terraces, but also within the club. They can certainly be proud of their achievements in claiming a place in the playoffs with some room to spare in the end. But ultimately, they've been helpless in the face of a Leeds United onslaught. One moment where all seemed possible. Kenny McLean with his last yellow card of the season. Smiles, relaxation, the order of the day. Ampadu's ball cut out by McCallum. Now Sarah. Maybe the last chance of the game will go the way of Norwich, but Gray doing his utmost to ensure they won't get a chance to make one. Stacey chasing. Well, it may find out it's a better way to get promoted if they can do it.
Well, it's a stunning performance. You can't ask for any more from his team, but you know what he's going to say after the game? We've got one more game. Nothing is achieved yet.
Leeds United have silenced the doubters in the most emphatic fashion. Now they have a chance to banish the playoff ghosts at Wembley on Sunday, May the 26th. An extraordinary performance, started by an extraordinary goal. Ilya Gruev catching Angus Gunn out with a quickly taken free kick, an inspired set-piece routine, and we haven't said that too often about Leeds United. Joe Pirou returning to the side, adding to the account. Ruter making it 3 before half-time, but in between times, Ilan Meslier with a critical save to deny Josh Sargent. That, unquestionably, a key moment in the semi-final, and an if-only moment for everybody associated with Norwich City. And then capped by their Player of the Year, the Championship's Player of the Year, Crescencio Somerville, a fourth to add to Angus Gunn's woes, and to put the cherry on the icing on top of the cake. Leeds United on their way to Wembley for only the second time in the 21st century. Who will they face? We will find out tomorrow. But Leeds are there, having beaten Norwich by 4 goals to 0.
It's an emphatic statement of intent by Leeds United. A right of colour, life and noise here at Elland Road. This will really lift the roof off this grand old stadium, and of course the city itself. They will be going bonkers, it's safe to say, in Leeds and around the world. All the Whites fans tuning in here, knowing of course their team is going to Wembley with a shot of a return to the Premier League. Joby McAnuff, Chris Sutton, Paul Heckingbottom alongside me here, ready to take in what we're seeing from the atmosphere on the pitch and in the crowd. These fans are going to go for it. I predict a riot booming out of the Elland Road faithful. Get a load of this. Safe to say, Joby, that every single person and player knows the words to this song now, and my word, what a performance, what a victory.
Yeah, and it's been a little while since they've sung it here, I think. Again, we go back to that Leicester game where we had a brilliant atmosphere, but this tonight, I've got to say, from the minute we walked into the stadium, I thought we saw the scenes before the game. We spoke about the crowd and what a part that could play, and it did energise the players. They then embraced it. They were fantastic. We talk about results being the most important thing, but I felt it was really important tonight to see that level of performance from that Leeds United team. Hasn't been there in recent weeks, but they look like they've clicked back into that gear that they were in when they're on that brilliant run of wins, and very, very top performance from them tonight.
Joint biggest win of the season, Paul, and what a time to do it.
Yeah, perfect timing, good performance. Never in doubt that Norwich will be disappointed with the goals and the nature of the goals that they conceded, but in all fairness, if we are really honest, it could have been by a lot more as well. So, yeah, fully deserved victory and a top performance to go now into the final at Wembley.
Norwich players there just paying tribute, of course, to the remaining fans there that have left for the long trip back down to Norfolk. Archie Gray there, very much one of Leeds' own, taking in the players, delivering his verdicts of what he's seen to the players. That name, of course, is a big one on the back of his shirt. It's a team effort, isn't it? It's a squad effort. It's a collective that's seen Leeds United get their way to Wembley. Daniel Farke, the man leading the charge, potentially leading the Whites back to the Premier League. Truth be told, Chris, a mismatch in the end.
Yes, it was. I mean, if to design a blueprint of what not to do this evening, Norwich did it pretty well. They gifted Leeds a couple of goals. They struggled to get up the pitch. The game was over by half-time. Worst case scenario, sort of playing for pride in the second half. And Angus Gunn, I thought he made a couple of mistakes. I think he's an excellent goalkeeper tonight, made a couple of mistakes. Kept them in it, essentially, in the second half. Leeds should have beaten them by far more, but I think there needs to be change at Norwich.
Okay, more on that in due course. Let's get the thoughts of Ethan Ampadu with Jonathan Oakes.
Ethan, well done. An emphatic win to get you to the playoff final. How do you sum up the way that you did it tonight?
Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the season, there was a lot of talk about how we were playing, how we weren't on the front foot, how we weren't aggressive, how we weren't clinical. And we always had our belief, sorry, I can't hear. We always had our belief that on our day, when we're firing, we can be hard to play against. We can be hard for anyone to play against. And yeah, when the front four, when the front five, front six all play like that, they make the job of us as defenders a lot easier. So tonight was very nice, as you can see. All the fans, this is what it means.
How big were those early goals to get you off and running?
Yeah, massive. Sometimes we like to leave it late, but once you score early, you can settle nerves. You bring them onto you a little bit, and then it gives us more space to hopefully. And today it worked out. We scored a couple more.
I feel like you've really got back to it in great style tonight. How does this set you up for the final?
Yeah, I mean, the final, whoever play against is going to be a very hard game. Obviously, it's a final to get to the Premier League. We're happy that we're there. Yeah, you know, like you said, to go in that way, to put a performance in like this, I think we can take momentum with some confidence into it.
And how much are you looking forward to seeing that sea of white that we can see now at Wembley from the Leeds fans?
Oh, very excited. We were all very excited for today. The boys who played against Derby, it didn't work out that day for them, but they were telling us about the atmosphere and the crowd, and yeah, they were second on today. We love this sport. As you can see, they're going to enjoy it today. We're going to enjoy it for the next maybe a couple of days, and then, you know, prepare for the big one.
Well done, Ethan. Go and enjoy it. Thank you.
Calm, composed and extremely polite there, Ethan Ampadu with Jonathan Oakes. He's a mightily impressive young man, isn't he, Joby?
Yeah, he's been incredible all season. Started off in that central midfield role, but actually that fantastic run of form came when he went into that central defence and really formed a brilliant partnership with Joe Rodon. He just seems so mature for his years. He's had a lot of low moves, different environments, and I think what he's found here is somewhere he can really settle, and I think he showed that so far this season, and he has showed those leadership qualities as well, which have been really, really important.
We just saw Daniel Farke and Archie Gray together down at the bottom end of the ground, soaking it all in, Paul. Again, we're talking about young players that are coming to the fore and dealing with that particular pressure, what it is to play for Leeds United, let alone being a Gray as well. It's a phenomenal season that he's had, hasn't it?
He's quite literally been born for it, hasn't he? You know, he's gone back to the right back position again today. His defending was superb. He was breaking forward from that position, and he was back to that same balance that we used to have. He was receiving when he did receive behind Rowe, higher on the right-hand side. Was making the Norwich full-back jump, and then that's when they were outnumbering Norwich in the middle of the pitch, 3 against Norwich's 2 centre-backs, and it was just continually happening. So yeah, there was a real familiarity about this Leeds performance.
OK, let's get some more reaction on the pitch. Ilya Gruev and Jorginho Rutter ready to talk with Jonathan Oakes.
Well done, both of you. But Georgie, what great scenes. What does it mean to get to this playoff final?
It's incredible, you know. Today we go to Wembley. we play a very good game, very concentration, you know. So I'm happy, everybody's happy. So one more game and yeah, we will see.
Do you feel like the team, and you as well, were back to your best tonight?
I think so. We play very good. 4-0 is like clean sheet. Today we was mature, you know. So yeah, it's a very good performance for the team.
Ilya, you got that crucial first goal from the free kick. What made you shoot when everyone else might have thought that you were going to cross it?
Yeah, it was early in the game, and I knew that the goalkeeper is sometimes speculating, and I thought, like, let's try, let's have a shot, and yeah, it went in, and it was amazing, my first goal for Leeds.
Yeah, what about your timing for that first goal for Leeds?
Yeah, it's nice to score in such an important game. It's incredible. I think everybody hears the atmosphere, what's going on, and we are really looking forward to go to Wembley and win the last match.
Did you indicate to the bench that you were going to do that? Was that what you were trying to say to the bench? Can I have a shot here?
Not really. I watched to our assistant coach Eddie, and I asked him if it was an out swinger or in swinger, but then I saw him and I tried.
Georgie, how much are you looking forward to showing your talents at Wembley?
I don't know. I wanted to try my best and help the team, you know. If we play like this, we have a good chance, but we have to play like this.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've come through this difficult spell now? I mean, how much confidence can a win in this kind of manner give you for the playoff final?
Yeah, it was very important that we have a mature performance, and such a performance 4-0 at the semi-final in the playoffs. I think it's amazing, and now we have, of course, more confidence because the last weeks were not so easy for us, but it's football, and these show that we have characters that in this such important moments we show our quality.
Feel excited for the final, Georgie?
Yeah, exactly. Like today, you know. First time for me Wembley, and for someone, so can it be crazy, yeah.
Well done, thank you very much. Ilya, if you do the honours for us, please. Georgie's the Sky Bet player of the match.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
It's a smile, isn't it, that lights up the whole of Ellen Road. He certainly played his part, as did Ilya Gruev with the opening goal of the game. They both are very keen to stress, though, there is one very big game coming up. So, this playoff semi-final session has burst into life. Can we get the same again tomorrow, please, down at St Mary's? Southampton against West Brom. That begins 0-0, 7 p.m. Sky Sports Football for that. Then the biggest game in domestic football, Leeds against either Southampton or West Brom, 2 p.m. Kick-off at 3, Sky Sports Football, May the 26th. Sky Sports just got even better, bringing you over 50% more sport this year with new live streams and a dedicated channel. Sky Sports Plus launches this August at no extra cost. Enjoy over 1,000 live EFL games, including every Carabao Cup fixture and every tennis, every match from the Men's Super League. And if you like your tennis, we will show you 100 tournaments across the US Open, ATP and WTA tours. So much for Joby, Paul and Chris to discuss with us here in the studio at a jubilant Ellen Road. Scenes that will live long into the night. There's a big game coming up for them, of course, at Wembley, but for tonight they can enjoy what they've done here. They've been formidable, they've been absolutely awesome. They put 4 past Norwich, and Leeds United's next game will be at Wembley.